Your favorite local grocery stores like Kroger, Ralph's, Fred Meyer, and more are now delivering on Uber Eats. Get 40% off your order of fresh, quality ingredients. Whether you just got home to an empty fridge or suddenly got a craving to whip up something new, you can get everything you need delivered in as little as 25 minutes. Get 40% off your order with code Kroger2026. Plus, members get $0 delivery fees. Order now on Uber Eats. Orders of $30 or more save up to $25. Ends 4/30/26. See app for details.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
If you don't have a license, why are you borrowing buggies?
These are in the dirt. You don't need a license.
But you weren't in the dirt. You were on the road where the police officer got you.
No, I was in the dirt, Your Honor.
This is the plaintiff, Scott Leoo. He says the defendant, his former neighbor, borrowed 2 dune buggies from him, drove them on the city streets, and got arrested for DWI. His buggies got impounded. The defendant didn't inform him about it until 5 days later. Now he owes a heap of money in impound fees. He's suing the defendant for $894, the amount he's on the hook for. This is the defendant, Jason Young. He says he asked the plaintiff before he drove off if the dune buggies were legal, and the guy told him yes. Turns out the things had no VIN numbers, no plates, and no registrations. He got arrested and thrown in jail and had to come up with bail money and couldn't reach the plaintiff for days. It's certainly not his fault all of this happened, and he definitely doesn't owe the plaintiff any money because he was a victim. He's accused of sandbagging a friend.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Scott Leoo.
Leoo,
you are suing Jason Young, your, I guess, former friend, for $894 in damages that you sustained as a result of him borrowing your dune buggy and managing to get it impounded by the police. What happened?
2 of them.
2 of them.
First thing, Your Honor, is I want to thank you. I've been watching the show since I was a kid. It's kind of an honor to be here. I even had my teeth fixed from 8 days a week. A little chip to get fixed the other show.
Oh.
I talk fast, so don't mind me.
I feel very honored.
And,
there was something about since I was a kid, though, that kind of bothered me, made me feel old. You know, that part I could have done without. I'm sure you watch me all the time, too, right? Say yes.
No.
No, you got to say yes. That way it feels even.
I actually have a job.
Okay, so what is that supposed to mean?
Well, I'm not home during the day.
Okay, well, since you have a job, you can afford a DVR, right? Like,
Yes,
it's this invention. In fact, you could have afforded a VHS
My
before
wife
that.
does watch you, though.
All right, stop. You're not making it better. Go ahead.
Well, I don't work and I watch.
So what happens?
What happens was he come down. I was working my yard and wanted him and his wife had a day off from. She's a teacher, and he had an extra day off, and they wanted to go use my sand rails up in California. I said that's fine. You can use them. Be sure you don't get them impound anything you do to them. You replace them. You fix them. And he said, okay, that's fine. Of course, God, I will.
Has he ever borrowed your? What are you?
Yes.
Do you have a picture of what we're talking about?
Yeah, I got sand rails.
And so had he ever borrowed the dune buggies before?
Oh yeah, many times.
Okay.
But he's
All right.
always fixed everything. He's borrowed everything he's always been, as far as that goes. He borrows something, he always fixes it, or makes it better than what it was when he borrowed it. He's
I
always
love
borrowed.
people like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I can't knock him for that ever.
Right.
But
okay.
then all
So
of a sudden,
then what happens?
Well, then Thursday I don't hear from him because he always comes back. He tells me, hey, thanks, appreciate it. Well, I didn't hear from him. And Saturday, his daughter comes down looking for him, and I said, no, he's not here. Why? Where's he at? No, nothing. Then she rides off on a little more, or pedal bike, goes back home.
How old's the daughter?
12.
Okay.
14. Well, now.
Okay. So then the daughter comes by and says, do you know where my dad is? And you think that's weird. And then on
Right.
Sunday, what happens?
I call his wife and said, basically, where's Jason? Well, we got a DUI on when? On Thursday. I was, where's my buggies at? Well, they're impounded. And I said, they've been impounded for 4 or 5 days now, and nobody's called and told me anything about this? Well, no, we didn't want you to get mad. I said, what?
So we didn't want you to get mad. How are we going to solve the problem? Was she trying to raise the money to get him out?
My wife left a note on that.
Hold on 1 second. Was she trying to raise the money
No, she was on the couch. So nobody called.
I need you to stop talking while he's talking. That is not helpful to me. What was her reasoning for not telling you? Was she trying to just get him out of impound before?
I don't have a clue. She just said that she didn't want to. She just didn't bother with it. I have no idea. You're gonna have to ask her that because there's no reason for. I'm 5 houses down. We see each other every day. Why they didn't call and tell me? They called me Thursday because they took him to jail, and they let her go because there was a daughter there too.
Right.
And they let her go.
Was she? Oh, she was driving one too.
Yeah.
Was she DUI?
Yeah, they both were.
No.
What happened?
I went out there and borrowed the buggies. Obviously, everything was fine. We do this all the time, except this is a new place that he had. I asked him, everything's cool to ride here? Everything's fine? It's okay? He said, yeah, sure. So we take off. We get about 15 minutes away. The police pull us over. They say there's no registration. They're not properly registered for the road. They wind up impounding the buggies, and I have no license. So they got me for driving unsuspended, which that was on me because I don't have a license. But I was
If you don't have a license, why are you borrowing buggies?
These are in the dirt. You don't need a license.
But you weren't in the dirt. You were on the road where the police officer got you.
No, I was in the dirt, Your Honor.
Well, then you don't need a license to drive in the dirt. I don't understand. If the police are mad at you because you're driving without a license, it's on a public road where you have to have a license to drive. You're not making sense. If you're on private property, I don't know what you mean by dirt. If it's still a county road, state road, whatever, you have to have a license to ride on it.
It's BLM land.
I don't know what that means. Is it public or is it?
It's permit. You buy a permit to ride on the place. We had permits.
Except for that you have to have not just a permit, but a license to ride there because it's government land, right?
No.
Well, then how did you legitimately get a ticket for driving without a license that you're saying that's on me?
Interesting DUI on a dune buggy, but the defendant is denying it was a DUI. He's being very cagey. Let's listen.
Are you supposed to have a license to ride that bike in the place where you were riding the bike?
No, you don't have to have a license for ride a bike. There.
Are you supposed to have a license to drive that vehicle in the spot where the... okay, and you didn't?
Yes.
Okay. And where is your license?
I haven't had it for about 3 years.
On account of what?
I have my license coming back in about 3 months.
That answers the question, when are you getting your license? It doesn't answer the question, why didn't you have a license? You just don't want to tell me that it's a DUI-related suspension?
No, I have no DUIs.
Okay. Why didn't you have a license?
Because years ago I was in trouble and I got my license taken away for too many.
For what?
For too many fines, for too many tickets, speeding tickets, driving with no insurance.
Did you know all that? That you're loaning your buggies to a guy who has that kind of driving record?
He was supposed to be in the dunes, not on the streets. I have no idea he was in the streets.
So, still.
You can ride him on the. You don't need a license.
You don't care if he crashes him. You just care if he rides him on the public road.
Well, I have insurance.
All right, so go on. So now you are on the road and you get the ticket. And how about your wife? Did she have a license?
Yes.
Okay. And what did they give you tickets for?
They gave us tickets for registration. The things were not
Let me
properly
see the
registered.
tickets.
I don't have the tickets. This is 2 years ago.
According to him, I don't care. You're being sued for it because you destroyed not destroyed the buggies, but you cost him $700 in impound fees. You had to know he was going to sue you. It's not some big surprise.
Well, Your Honor.
So my question is, did you get arrested for DUI?
No.
Your wife told him that you got arrested for DUI, for DWI.
They dropped all that because I was not.
So why are you telling me you didn't get arrested when you did?
I did get arrested, Your Honor.
Okay, well, then why did you say no when I asked, did you get arrested? Is my English not as good as I think it is?
I think it's very good.
I think it's impeccable.
I did get arrested.
Okay. So you got to, just a second, now we're getting somewhere, because I don't think that the police impound for not having a register. They'll give you a ticket and send you on your way. Then we would have a $100 problem and not an $800 problem. So you got arrested for a DWI. Is that what they call it where you are, DWI? Yeah. You got arrested for driving intoxicated. So now you're giving your buggy to somebody who's drunk and who speeds and who doesn't have insurance but he's your neighbor. And you share a beer together.
I didn't know he was going to be drinking. I didn't know he was going to be drunk.
So you get arrested for the DWI. What about your wife? Was she arrested for DWI?
No.
Okay. So then they impound your vehicle.
They
Did
impounded
they impound
both of them because they weren't registered. They would have let her drive them off. They checked and there was no VIN number on the one. They would have let, because they had my brother come out there.
He says that you weren't supposed to be on the public roads. You were supposed to be in the dunes.
Leaving the trailer park is a public road.
Okay.
Not
How
true.
do you get your
You drive right out of from my motorhome right there. There's trails that go all the way to the dunes right there. There's no reason why he got pulled over. It was right on the road where you're not supposed to
How
be.
far from the dunes was he? How far from the trailer was he?
Where he got his ticket? I don't know where he got his ticket, but you come out, he had the main road.
Let me see the ticket.
I don't have the ticket.
Oh, for the love of all that's holy. This is what the litigation is about. I mean, seriously, you know, this is what the litigation is about. How do you not manage to get your hands on the ticket? It's a public record. Once you knew you were getting sued, if you couldn't find it because you don't keep important papers, you could have just gone to the courthouse and gotten the ticket so that I can see it. Then I'd know what you got stopped for. I'd know where you got stopped. I'd have some semblance of when you're telling me, well, you have to go there to get to the dunes, I'd see where, because when you don't bring it, you know what it tells me? It tells me you don't want me to see where you got the ticket. Where maybe you got the ticket far off. Maybe you were hot dogging it out on the road, going to another bar. I don't know what you were doing, but I can't tell because you don't even bring me the ticket that is the subject of this litigation. How much are you out? Show me the receipts for what you're out. Let me ask you a question. So I have no idea. I have no idea what he got the ticket for. Let me see the impound. Do you have the impound paperwork?
Yeah, right there.
Is that it?
Both of
Your
them.
Honor, the reason I don't believe that I owe him that much money is because my wife went down there the very next day and banged on his door, and he would not answer the door. He was asleep all weekend. My
Maybe he
daughter
was
went
gone.
down there Saturday.
Don't you have his phone number?
Yes, but I was in jail, and I had my cell phone. My wife doesn't
Where's
have
your
a cell-
wife? Is she here to testify?
No, she could not get the time off of work. But
Yep.
she
How
knew
DUI
where I
were
was.
you? Did you blow or no?
Huh?
Did you blow?
Yes.
What'd you blow?
07. I wasn't even legally drunk.
All right. This is for 312, and you're suing for 894.
No, I'm not suing for 800. But it was $750, and then he paid me two $20 payments, so he owes me
Oh, I see. It's
$710.
312 each.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
And
624.
then it cost me 130 in gas, and then he gave me
Wait. It cost you 100 and what?
30 in gas.
You're suing for 120 in gas.
120 gas. Sorry.
Okay, can I see the receipts for the gas that show it cost you 120?
No, it's 80 miles one way to pick him up.
So you're suing for the 624 that this is proof you paid.
Right.
And then you're suing for gas.
Right, that's it. But
How are the buggies? What condition are the buggies in?
They're fine,
They're fine. You gonna loan them to him again?
probably.
Pardon?
If I move back to Arizona, if he's got a license.
If he's got a license, the guy wouldn't make good on it. He borrows some.
I'm a nice guy. It's just my nature to
No,
be.
you're stupid. That's not nice. It's stupid. There's a distinction.
I've heard that quite a few
But
times.
yeah, seriously, come on.
No,
I mean, that's just no. What nice is you go to a soup kitchen and feed the homeless. A guy who loans his property to somebody who's arrested for DUI with his property, gets it impounded, doesn't tell you about it until day 5 according to you, and doesn't make good on the money is somebody, because what excuse do you have for number? Oh, I see. Your excuse is that there was no registration on it, and your answer to that is, what the hell are you doing on the open road?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So this guy says that he blew a .07. That's under the legal limit of .08. Could he be arrested for drunk driving?
Absolutely. Behind any vehicle, alcohol, you should be arrested for it.
But if they have, it's not that they have any alcohol, is it? I mean, if you have a little bit of alcohol, can you be arrested? What do you think?
I don't think so, Harvey. Didn't go over the limit, no arrest.
Is that right? That if you don't go over the limit, you can't get arrested?
No,
What's the real deal?
he should be arrested
Because
because he was drinking.
so we'll explain, but that's not exactly so. Going inside the courtroom.
You realize the reason that well, number one, the reason you're losing this case is because you got arrested for DWI. That's why it got impounded. I don't think it's because of the other stuff. But the reason you're losing this case is because you bring me absolutely no proof of why it was impounded. Had you brought me the tickets, had you brought me the police report, had you brought me something that were to tell me that it got impounded, not because you were driving drunk, but because of the registration, you'd have a better shot. He still would have the defense of, what are you talking about? It's on the open road and it shouldn't be on the open road. It should be in the dunes. Then I would look at where you got the ticket to see if it's true that it was right next to it and you had to get there to get to the dunes. But you have nothing for me, zero. You have come to court completely empty-handed. Whether this happened 2 days ago or 2 years ago, when you know you're coming to court, you get prepared for court so that there's something you can prove up to the judge. This is why you're losing this case. I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $624 plus $100 for gas, $724 verdict for the plaintiff.
Defendant on the losing end of this case, the problem is, lack of evidence. No witnesses, no evidence of any kind. What kind of defense is that?
Well, I had no time to really prepare for this.
Are you going to rethink drinking and driving as a practice?
Yeah, well, I don't drink and drive. I wasn't arrested for drinking and driving. That's just what he says.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you did blow out in 07, so you must have had something.
Yeah.
All right. Right around the corner. Good luck. And come on in here and tell me what's your feeling on the outcome of this case. You're kind of laughing and smiling there.
Yeah, because I always smile and laugh. Anyways, it was all good.
You're always smiling?
Yeah.
You're a dune buggy kind of guy?
Yeah, I'm a happy kind of guy. Love my toys, love my life.
Why would you loan your buggies to him?
He's a good guy. I didn't think he was going to be on the streets, and he should never be on the streets. That was the whole
Did you
thing.
loan it to him again?
If he drives 1,200 miles where I live now, yeah. That's a long drive to borrow my buggy, but...
Yeah, just a happy-go-lucky. All right, right around the corner.
Okay.
All right, Harvey?
Okay, here's the explanation. You can get arrested if you have a .001 blood alcohol level. The key is if your driving is impaired by the alcohol, and it doesn't matter if it's a tiny bit of wine or a lot of gin or whatever, if it's impaired, even if you're not at the legal limit, you can be arrested for driving under the influence. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Now, at McDonald's, wake up to a $4 breakfast meal deal. Wake up to a sausage McMuffin or a sausage biscuit, to hash browns, and wake up to a hot coffee. Get your $4 breakfast meal deal.
Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher for delivery.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the plaintiff, Nyrie. She says she rented an apartment from the defendant in a 3-family home. And every time they saw one another, he harassed her. She even got an order of protection against the creepy guy. She also reported him to the authorities because her house was infested with mice, and he was fined. Now he won't return her security, so she's dragging his rear in today and taking him to court for the $3,783 she's owed. This is the defendant, Kenrick Job. He says he canceled the lady's lease because one of her Johns kicked in and broke down his front door. As far as her security goes, he has every right to keep it under the law because she left behind all her living room furniture, and her daughter's junk, too. She can fight him all she wants, but he's not backing down and is sure the judge will side with him today. He's accused of rubbing a renter the wrong way.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff rented an apartment from the defendant and says it got so bad she had to get an order of protection against him. And she says the place was infested with mice. The defendant says this chick had a bunch of Johns. Get the picture? It's the case of Dear John.
Thank you. Nyrie?
Yes.
You want to be referred to only as Nyrie. You are suing Kenrick Job,
Yes.
your former landlord, for $3,783, 3 times the security deposit, which you say is per New York State law. It's a new one on me for New York. And your security deposit that he refuses to return. Okay, what's going on?
Well, at the end of October, I was notified that I would be evicted because my lease was not being renewed, no reason given.
He doesn't have to give you a reason. He doesn't want to renew your lease. He doesn't renew your lease.
Correct.
Right.
And so I was evicted.
But out of curiosity, why weren't you renewing her lease?
Why I wasn't renewing her lease? Yeah. Because one of her John kicked my front door in.
One of her what?
Her John.
Her Johns?
Johns.
One of her Johns hit your front door?
One of her Johns kicked the front door in.
Because what? You suspected her of illegal prostitution in your home?
Prostitution and drugs.
And drugs? What evidence did you have of drugs?
Because the U.S. Marshal come there looking for a drug dealer.
How do you know?
In her apartment. Because he calls me on the phone.
The marshal?
The marshal. And it's twice they come there looking for him at her apartment. And she don't know him. She don't know. He lives in the street. Somebody that lives in the street she don't know at all.
Okay.
Okay? I have tenants in that building. and I have to protect my tenants.
And the tenants were complaining?
The tenants was complaining, yes.
Saying what?
That there's men been going through that door, the door has been open, and they've been going up the step all hours of the night.
Okay.
So I went down and I locked the door. I come back the next night, the door is open again, and that's how it's been going.
Okay, okay. So he makes a decision not to renew your lease, and what happens?
Well, actually,
and he tells you that in May?
No, he never told me anything. He actually.
When was your lease up?
My lease was up in October.
October, okay.
31st.
Okay.
He never told me that he was not renewing my lease. He told.
But you know your lease is up in
neighborhood
October.
People.
Told
I
who?
asked him in September. Neighborhood people in the neighborhood. You know, I grew up in that neighborhood, so people were coming and telling me. Now, a friend of mine did kick the door in, but he was not a John. And I called the police, and then I called Mr. Job. I did press charges, but they told me I couldn't because it wasn't my property, that Mr. Job had to do it. So
But that's ridiculous, because if you're going to be held responsible for it through your security deposit, you darn well, it is your property. You're renting it. You do have a right to press charges. That information was false. But in any event, so and now you know that you know your lease is up in October, so you figure out that you got to be out. And what happens?
What happens is I get served with eviction papers.
When?
October 31st.
Because you didn't get out in October. Your lease was over October what?
No, he never. I lived. Section 8 paid a portion of my rent. He cannot evict me.
How much of your rent is Section 8 pay?
$1,144.
Okay, so the government's paying $1,144 in rent, and you're paying how much?
$117.
Okay.
So he was not allowed to evict me without notifying Section 8. It's a process that he had to go through a contract that he has with Section 8.
Yeah, and the process involves him evicting you if you hold over. When was the when was her last day? September 30th or October 31st?
The lease expires October 31st.
Okay, so when you file an eviction before
and file an eviction in November. Around November 1st.
Okay, so you waited after October 31st.
No, we went to court, and she
Can I see the eviction papers, sir? Did you guys actually have a hearing where you both testified?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the judge's order that says that you were suing at that hearing for her portion in November and her portion in January. Good Lord. Why would they give her 6 months to get out?
Exactly.
If they find her in violation of the lease?
Well,
I mean, it's just, I'm sorry, it's insanity. I don't mean to not be compassionate, but 6 months? 6 months? Seriously? It doesn't take anybody else 6 months to find a new place. If you're not paying, you know, and you don't have a lease, you don't have a right to be there, you're a holdover tenant. Other holdover tenants don't get 6 months. The respondent was unable to assert, the respondent being you, was unable to assert a valid legal defense, so I'm going to give her 6 months. That's the next sentence. Yeah. The respondent was unable to assert a valid legal defense to defeat this holdover proceeding. So you were awarded final judgment of possession. It's January when the judge writes the order, but they're giving her till April 30th, almost May, to get out.
Exactly.
Am I the only one that sounds like ridiculous to? Why did the judge feel so sorry for you or something? Because it doesn't take 5 months to Section 8 needs to move a little faster because it doesn't take 5 months. So that's just crazy. Do you have children? Is that what it was?
Yes.
How many children do you have?
Section 8 6 months to
How many
process
children do you have? I want to
transfer.
understand why the judge felt sorry for you. Do you have
one child?
How
now.
old?
I have 2 children. Only one lives with me.
How old?
She's 18 now.
Okay, so that isn't it. Okay, so what is it? Like, what is it that would make the judge think that it would be appropriate to have you living? Did Section 8 pay their portion to April 30th?
After I...
Yes or no?
No.
They didn't pay?
No.
Okay, what didn't they pay?
They didn't pay May.
Oh, that's okay. April 30th comes before May. So up to April 30th, they paid the rent.
Yeah, they pays the rent.
Okay, but then she didn't leave April 30th?
No.
The judge gives you 6 months, and that's not enough for you to get your act together? And so you still don't leave, and you're still there in May?
I still to this day, I still have not received my transfer paperwork.
You're there, you're still there?
No, I'm not still there.
Okay. Okay. So are you in another apartment?
I'm staying with my father right now.
And Section 8 still hasn't prepared your work? Are you sure you're maybe not supplying something?
No, I'm totally
familiar with
positive.
Section 8. You're not my first rodeo. And I've never seen anybody take 8 months in Section 8 for something like this. 8 months is like, you know, there's something else going on here.
Well,
First of all, the judge gives you 6 months. So the first 6 months aren't even against her. It's like for her, woohoo, bonus. And the fault of the judge, not the fault of Section 8. So I'm just astounded. Do you have a Section 8 paperwork? Because listen, you know, the idea behind Section 8 is to help people who can't afford to pay their rent through a tough period in their life. It's not supposed to be a way of life. How long have you been receiving it?
I've been on it for about 3 years now.
What do you do for a living?
Right now, I'm disabled. I got divorced.
What's the nature of the disability? Mental or physical?
Physical.
What's the physical disability?
I have back pain. I was hit in a motor vehicle accident 2 years ago.
Okay, if you stayed there in May, you acknowledge that you stayed there in May, right?
No, in May I was evicted by the marshals.
Oh, they had to drag you out? You have a court order that gave you 6 months. It wasn't enough for you?
Section 8 will not allow me to leave just because the court said you had to leave.
Oh,
you have
sweetheart,
to wait
let me
for
tell
the
you
marshals
something.
to leave.
You are not my first rodeo. That is not Section 8 rules. Section 8 is a federal program.
That's the problem I'm
It's a
going through with them right now.
And it exists everywhere, and it has the same rules, okay? So the stuff you're talking about is not accurate. According to Section 8, you must disobey a court order and be dragged out by your hair. That's just crazy. It's crazy. So you did stay there in May. Okay.
So May
yes
21st.
or no?
May 21st.
Until the marshals dragged
came,
you out. Okay.
Which is
now,
what I was told to do.
By whom?
Section 8. In order for me to expedite my transfer, I would have to stay there and wait for the marshals to leave. They are currently looking for paperwork that he didn't supply. Because I never was served a 30-day notice by the marshals. That's what's holding up my paperwork.
That is the silliest thing I ever heard. Because if you chose to go to a new apartment and you still qualified for Section 8, all it takes is the amount of time it takes to fill out the paperwork for the new apartment. You're not required to be evicted in order to avail yourself of Section 8. What you're saying is made up. Now, let's just stop the game and let's just talk frankly. I want answers to my specific questions. So you left on May 21st.
Correct.
My question to you is, did you pay your $147 throughout the time that you were there? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Is that accurate that she paid it up to April 30th?
Yes.
Okay. And then May comes, and did you get her $147 in May?
No.
And you didn't get the Section 8 payment either?
No.
Okay. So, and how much is rent totally?
The rent is $1,261.
And how much was your security deposit?
$1,261.
Oh, isn't that a happy coincidence? So then why is it, if you stay in May and the man didn't get rent for May, why on God's green acres would you be entitled to your security deposit?
So if she was running a prostitution ring, can he legally kick her out? What do you think?
I think so.
Why?
Because it's illegal.
So if it's prostitution and she's committing an illegal act, you can kick him out? Is that right?
Yes,
So any illegal act, you can kick a tenant out?
absolutely.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
The reason why he did not pay rent for May, which he is still fighting for currently, is because he failed inspection because of mice, droppings, and the window being off guard.
Okay, let me see your paperwork from May. And you agree that they never sent him a check for May. And you're saying, well, the reason they didn't send him a check for May is because he got a housing violation on May 1st. Of course, May 1st, you have no business even being there, right? And you're calling 311 on him.
No, they did an inspection
Oh,
on that
what a
day.
coincidence. On the day that you're not supposed to be there anymore, because you're supposed to have moved out the day before, they come out, inspect, according to, I'm sure, your phone call. You called them, right?
Yeah.
Did you call them?
No.
So one day I called 311 and they find him.
311, not Section 8. 311, not Section 8. 311 is HPD.
The one day that you called them was the day after you have no right to be there anymore, right?
No.
In anticipation.
It was before that.
Can I tell you something? Let me tell you something. I've been playing this a long time.
It was before that.
My hat's off to you because you've got the system down like a pro. Yeah. You've got every angle of it figured out. Every angle to your advantage. Okay? Every angle. And you even have a smug look on your face now because you know that what I'm saying is true.
No, it's not true.
You've got it all figured out.
It's not true at all.
Yeah, it is. Please. Oh, and by the way, New York doesn't have a law for treble damages for security deposit. I don't know who told you that, but that's not true. Maybe that's the same person giving you advice that you need to be dragged out by the hair from the marshals before it is that Section 8 will actually get you housing. Please. Verdicts for the defendant.
Thank you.
This is the plaintiff coming out into the hallway here. Now that this case is over and done with, what is it you'd like to say out here in the hallway?
Well, basically, he lied about everything on the stand, and he's going to keep my security deposit and move forward to get the money from Section 8, so he'll get paid for May twice.
Why do you think he wanted you out, really, if not for the reasons he testified?
Because he has a crush on me, and I'm dating his cousin.
Oh. Let's go. Come on out here. You know.
Okay.
You know
Man, you're knocking me down.
I don't know if you're acting well. You know, good acting there, but you heard her. You heard what she said.
Yeah, I sure heard what she said.
You have a crush on her.
I have a crush on her. Can you believe it?
I don't know.
It's a parasite. When you got to pull it from the root to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. Is she dating your cousin?
Who is my cousin? Look, I'm a businessman. My cousin is money.
Okay, over to Harvey.
By the way, New York does not have a law that says that if a landlord wrongfully withholds security, that the tenant can get 3 times the damages back. But there are a number of states that have that, and it serves as a penalty when landlords don't do the right thing. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
This is the plaintiff, Jerome Billings. He says he bought a watch phone from the defendant, and he's had problems with it ever since. The thing's useless to him. The defendant refuses to return his hard-earned money, and he's suing the wretched watch seller for the $500 he's owed. This is the defendant, Mufid Dewani. He says the plaintiff bought the watch phone from him and then came back to his store numerous times, wanting to change his service plan. After a while, he decided he didn't want the phone anymore, but his store policy states no returns after 7 days. Since it was indeed more than 7 days after the date of purchase, he has no obligation to refund the guy's money. He's accused of ticking off a customer.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff bought a watch phone from the defendant and says it was a lemon. But the defendant says he paid his money and he took his chances. It's the case of watch this.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Jerome Billings.
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing Mufid Dewani and Network Cellular for $500, $450, the amount that you paid for a watch phone, and the rest of it on service and a SIM card that didn't work. Tell me what's going on.
But what happened?
A watch phone?
Yes.
Like James Bond. I was thinking Dick Tracy. I don't know where Dick...
I have it here. The young man here. I brought several things
We'll get that. Don't worry.
from his store. So I would like to watch from. I'm a musician, so I like.
What do you play?
I play keyboards and sing. I travel a lot. And so I want, like you want something that's kind of different, like when you go out, it's like a novelty. It's nothing you wear every day.
Right.
So, but it's something that you would want to, when you go out, it's kind of.
It's different. You wanted a watch phone.
Right.
It's fine.
It's
your money. You're entitled to spend it on a watch phone. You don't have to explain
piece.
so much. It's kind of cool. Do you have it?
Yes.
Can I see it?
Sure. And I brought 2. And
you bought 2 of them?
Yes.
All right, now you got to explain. Why did you buy 2?
I brought another one. The first one I brought isn't only a phone. It's a camcorder. It's a phone. It texts. It does everything.
Right.
And I kept it. I said, well, you know what? I'm going to get another one.
Oh, you did like it. So you figured out how to use it. You liked it, and then you bought a second one.
I like the phone.
Great. Can I see them?
I still do like the phone.
Okay. Well, but you're suing to get your money back on them. Why?
Because.
Or on one of them.
Because, okay, this one doesn't work no longer.
When did you buy this one?
About a year and a half
So why would you get your money back for something you bought a year and a half ago?
No, I didn't get my money back for it. I didn't want to try to get
Okay,
my
I'm
money.
sorry. What are you suing for here today?
suing
$450 for what?
For the second phone.
Okay, let's put that to a side. Kind of big. This is the one that...
Yeah, that one has a camcorder in it. You see the camera in the front?
Yeah, I guess. Yep. That's for, like, spying? Kind of almost like for spying, right?
Well, you can camcord a person, they don't know it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a felony in a lot of states. Felony in a lot of states. Watch where you go. Go ahead. All right, so let me see the other one.
And this phone, brought this phone from him around...
Do you have the receipts for when he bought the phone?
No.
You don't have the receipts for when you bought the phone?
No.
Nobody knows when you bought the phone?
I know when I brought the phone in the summer, in July.
Okay.
But I didn't use that every day neither. But first, when
How many phones do you have?
Oh, I got 6 phones.
Okay. All right, so...
But the thing about the phone works fine.
Okay.
All right? But the service that he puts on the phone is supported by T-Mobile. So he tells me, he says, listen, to have the phone running up month to month, you have talk, text, and web, pay $50, all right? So I had a lot to do. I waited until I got home because I told you I worked.
And then when you get home, what do you find out?
When I get home and turn the phone on, it pops up, no service.
Okay.
So he says, oh, T-Mobile no longer supports the phone. AT&T supports the phone now.
Did you tell him that?
No.
Trying to sell him an AT&T contract?
No. The situation is he bought this one in July. He turned it on, I guess, for a few times, and then he used it, and then he decided to come back in late November to reactivate it.
I came back
with a new number.
Why reactivate it?
Because he used it for in the old times, and he stopped paying bills, so that he lose the number after a certain time.
Do you have proof of that?
No.
Then how do you know that?
Because he comes to me every week. Every week he comes to the store. He's a compulsive shopper.
Okay.
Heavily compulsive. He comes with a different suit every time.
Okay.
Different glasses, different shoes, different T-shirt, different everything. Just like this. If he comes next week, it can be different.
Okay.
So he spent all his money on all these gadgets. So I know him for a long time. I've been there for 14 years having a store there, and I know him for a long time. I call him Mr. Elephant.
Mr. what?
Elephant.
Why?
Because sometimes he can have elephant like cab. Like
an elephant cab.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, Mr. Elephant, how are you?
Okay.
And from that time, I call him Mr. Elephant.
Okay.
He's a nice guy. He's my friend.
Okay, he's your friend? No, he's suing you.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Okay, simple question. Are watch phones cool or lame?
Lame.
Why?
Because it doesn't look cool when you're talking to your wrist.
What do you think?
They're lame.
Why?
Because, yeah, when you talk to your wrist, you should talk to your phone.
You guys are too young, aren't you, to know get smart. Dick Tracy gets smart. I would take my shoe off, but it really smells, and I would explain. Go inside the courtroom.
So what do you think went wrong then? That you just think the phone went to...
I think the phone is, the transmission on the transmitter on the phone went wrong, I guess.
Well, but then, all right, and what's the warranty on this thing?
Well, there is no warranty on these things. I mean, probably our store give 7 days on the receipt, our store. If you have any problem with the things, then I can give you the manufacturer. You can send to the manufacturer, they fix to you, and they ship it back to you.
Okay, what proof do you have that T-Mobile doesn't support this?
When I went in, that was my reason for me coming back to the store the next day, because I said, listen, the phone's not working. That's when he tells me, oh, T-Mobile no longer supports...
Okay, he denies that he said that to you.
Okay,
and I have to tell you that it's the whole thing's kind of weird considering T-Mobile was working, right before.
So now what happens is he goes in the phone...
Well, if T-Mobile or AT&T decide whether they're going to support a phone and then they just continue to support the phone, or can they just all of a sudden stop?
Well, it's a frequency. The government give a frequency to each carrier, and they never changes because they pay a frequency. And this phone, if it works with T-Mobile, it's going to continue to work with T-Mobile.
Because they're not going to leave customers with units that don't work magically.
Because the carrier does not change frequency, period.
Okay.
So the only reason I could see in this phone that the phone went wrong itself, mechanically.
Can you show me what warranty you purchased with this phone? Can you show me the paperwork that shows that you have a 1-year warranty from the store or a 6-month warranty from the store?
I can show you what I paid for the service for the phone. But there's not a warrant.
Do you have the receipt for the watch?
I can't.
Can you look at the paperwork and tell me if there's a receipt for the watch?
This paperwork here. Let's see. Because what happened was he looked at and he looked to see if it was a SIM card. He took the SIM card out the watch. So when I got home and looked, the watch didn't even have no SIM card in it. I paid for.
Did you take the SIM card out of the watch?
He took the SIM card out.
No.
Where's the SIM card in this watch?
He took the SIM card out. That's what I'm trying to say. I paid for a SIM card, and he removed
Did you see him take the SIM card out?
Yes, I did.
Did you take the SIM card out?
Because I didn't even know how you put it in.
Probably I took it. I tried to make it work at the time.
Can you open this up and see if the SIM card's in here? I'll bring it to you.
Just stay back.
Yep. So just stay right there. We'll bring it to you.
He actually took the because I didn't even know how to put the SIM card in there
you need
until
to open it.
he took the SIM card out. I said, well, wait a minute. I paid $20 for a SIM card, $30 for the service. I don't get the service, and he takes the SIM card out.
Is that the SIM card?
Yep.
No,
it's right there?
It's inside.
Okay.
It's inside the SIM card.
Okay.
That white.
There it is. There's a SIM card with $30 of use on it. Can you put that in a different phone, one of the other 6?
No, because I asked him that.
Look at me and
yes, he can. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. If he activated it before 90 days, I mean, I think the 90 days are still valid till now, so he can put the SIM card in a different phone if it's a SIM card I give him, if the same one.
But all I asked him to do was, since it's not working, could you take the service that I paid and install it on my other phone? He told me, well, no, he couldn't do that.
Why couldn't you do that?
Of course, I mean, this is common sense. I mean, you can. This SIM card is universal. You can put it in any T-Mobile SIM card.
So you would not have told him no?
Impossible.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have the other phone on you right now?
Yes.
Can you do it right now?
Yeah. I asked him.
Yeah, all right, marvelous. Case resolved. Thank you, gentlemen. Take care of that right now. Put that SIM card in one of his other phones so he can use it. Thank you.
All right, so here's the plaintiff coming out of the courtroom. Are you satisfied with the outcome now?
Well, not really. I wasn't because I went in there with a watch cell phone that
I know. I heard the whole case.
And,
why do you need the secret recording video watch?
Well, that's a novelty as far as like when you want to show off with girls, you know, when you go to a club, you know, like they hear you talking like Dick Tracy. They say, "What's this guy? Is this guy crazy?"
That impresses the babes?
It's very impressive.
All right. Okay. All right. Good luck. Good luck with everything. All right. You just head right down this way. Okay. Right around the corner there. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So step on in here. So you're helping him impress the babes with the watch, huh?
It was a very impressive gadget.
Yeah, well,
he must love it.
He's a very good customer for you.
He is an excellent customer. He is a compulsive shopper. Every week he's there.
That's good for you.
He's looking for new items every week in the store. What's the new? What's the new?
Well, do you think you can please him by taking that SIM card, putting it in one of his other phones? You think he'll be pleased?
I will try to do my best right now to see if I can help him out as much as I can.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
All right, Harvey.
You know, I got to tell you something. There are so many cases that we see in the People's Court that should never have ended up in court, and this is one of them. There are so many times where people stand on principle and they end up winning this kind of hollow victory that makes no sense, and they just want that pound of flesh where a judge says, you were right, you were wrong. I mean, isn't your time worth more than that? At a point, you really have to judge, am I getting value out of filing a lawsuit? What am I getting out of it? If it's just this kind of hollow principle, really, you need to sit back and grow up.